I always say as a moderator, what the candidates decide to do with that time, you can ask the questions, but they'll answer with whatever they choose to answer with.
Yes, Megyn Kelly is going off on this man. Recently, they came out and struggled to deny the fact that Kamala knew nothing about the question. Before the debate, I want to show you these videos. I don't know if you've seen it, extremely concerning. They still continue to double this up after ratings down.
I believe it was our duty to ask the issues that Americans care about. The economy. Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Immigration. What are you going to do about the border? Why did you wait so long before you acted on the border? Those types of questions. Reproductive rights. Afghanistan. Do you bear any responsibility? Peaceful transfer of power with the next election coming. These are all really important issues. The issues of our time, really. And I always say as a moderator, what the candidates decide to do with that time, you can ask the questions, but they'll answer with whatever they choose to answer with.
That's right.
And you have to be ready for whatever might come your way, even the most unexpected of moments. As you all know, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And I will say this. All of the noise that you hear afterward about, which candidate won the debate, did the moderators win or lose, that's just noise. Yeah. You all know that. The most important thing to remember is that you all have the power.
Well, I see he's just playing it right down the middle, Dave. Well, let me tell you what that was. That was cleanup in aisle 7 because his ratings are down 12% since the debate and far more than he's seeing on the competition on CBS and NBC. They both fell a little this week just as it wasn't, I guess, that busy a Newsweek, but for, the whole Us Nation thing. Anyway,
that thing, yeah.
But his ratings are down. People are leaving. They're angry. And so he's out there. This wasn't Wednesday after the debate. It wasn't Thursday after the debate. It wasn't Friday. It was Monday because ABC News can see he's in a free fall.
None of that comes out. Fortunately, we now have a whistleblower, and I'm going to tell you something, Maria. We're going to do what we can to bring ABC in and have them answer some questions, and as well as have this whistleblower and see what's going on as they're trying to tear down the First Amendment.
I'm glad you mentioned this because Fox News is reaching out to ABC for response to that affidavit and this Bill Ackman post about this whistleblower. We want answers, but Bill Ackman posted this on X about an alleged ABC whistleblower affidavit that says Harris's campaign dictated the...
Yes, when you take a look at the whole thing, if this is true, it will shape up the way debate should be done. A lot would change. If they are being caught, if that means this is what they have been doing in the past, the ABC happened to be that scapegoat in this case. When you take a look at that man trying to say, oh, it is just noise, it's noise, after written tongues, it should tell you something. They know something. I just want to see the investigations. I just want to see the end result of this. It would be extremely shameful to see how these people operate. It is insane. If you want to run for president, you should be ready. Don't go behind and do this. I'm not saying it is true. Let's take a look at this video.
Whistleblower affidavit that says Harris's campaign dictated the debate questions, camera angles, and the fact-checking of Trump at the debate. He writes, quote, sadly for the state of truth in media, I expect the whistleblower allegations will be deemed to be true. Ackman also pointed out that ABC News' David Muir and Lindsay Davis have yet to make any statements on the alleged affidavit. He said, quote, if you are not guilty as alleged, you have no choice but to immediately issue a statement denying the claims, for silence is an admission of complicity. ABC News has already denied allegations of collusion between the presidential debate moderators and the Harris campaign. We know Lindsay Davis is her sorority sister, but they told the Daily Beast last week, absolutely not. Harris was not given any questions before the debate. We've reached out to ABC to verify the affidavit and for a statement on these accusations, Congressman, but this affidavit and this whistleblower story is gaining traction.
Yes, absolutely, and as it should. We need to find out what the truth is. And the thing is this, we all saw it. We actually don't need a hearing to know what we saw, but we're going to look to do it so as we can provide some evidence as to how manipulative they are.
Yes, this is not surprising to me. When you look at the affidavit, the account, it was released, and from all indication, it was sent to Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. I don't know how legit this is, but from the look of things and how we have seen, even when Biden was there, how they usually do with, giving question to the press, sometimes telling them not what to ask, will obviously make you to conclude that it can be legit. I'm not saying I know anything about that. I'm just reacting based on past experience, what we have been observing with these people. Megyn Kelly had this to say, pertaining to what is going on.
That, if it really was something that was legitimately sent on September 9th from watching the debate. All right, so it says the thing about the podium. He says she negotiated to look a certain way on the split screens. He says that ABC News agreed to fact check Trump only and not her. He says that they provided sample questions, not the exact questions, he alleges, but sample questions covering similar topics that would appear during the debate. He says that they had agreed certain topics would be off limits, including the perceived health of Joe Biden, her tenure as Attorney General, and her brother-in-law, Tony West, who used to work at DOJ and is accused of settling cases at very large numbers when the plaintiffs were Democrat operatives or anyone he thought he wanted to or could curry favor with. That's a short form description of all that. He talks about the observed bias against Trump within ABC. And then he says in this affidavit, I have secretly recorded several conversations that will prove the Harris campaign insisted upon not only the fact checking of Donald Trump, but also insisted on what questions were not to be asked under any circumstances, or else the Harris campaign would decline to participate in the debate. All right. This is all there. Do not know. We went through some of the questions about the affidavit. It's not the most beautiful document I've ever seen. A lot of not grammatical errors. Actually, there aren't any. There's no spelling errors, but there are grammatical errors in it. And then there's a notary public seal or sign without the seal, but Black Insurrectionist says he's redacted the seal, and a notary public seal does reveal the identity of the notary. So that it would make sense if you're trying to maintain anonymity all around that you might do that. Okay, so we don't know. We don't know whether this is real or not real, but we are open-minded to it, and we are trying to report on the story.
Now, from this affidavit, you can see something in it. The person is saying they have recordings of some of the conversations, which is really mind-blowing. If they can have all this proof, because I don't believe that someone will endanger his life, just to do this. It's concerning. If they're not investigating this, the person should be sure of what he is saying, not to lead or involve into trouble. Yeah. Like recently, I saw even Timpu is suing Kamala campaign for things linking to Project 2025. I never saw that coming.
Trump, who posted last night, finally, everyone is agreeing that I won the debate with Kamala. Named ABC cheated. Kamala got the questions in advance. That, according to, of course, an unidentified whistleblower. Kamala's earrings looked like a pair of earphones, which was a hot theory, until someone pointed out you can find those exact earrings at Tiffany.
Away on these issues, and the fact that Kamala Harris is staying in the ballgame on here, says everything.
While we have been talking, is somebody going to come out without their pants on?
At my Kennedy moment, it was very similar to when we decided to invade Iraq.
Look at reporting from Reuters and the New York Times.
And they answered in a different way than they'd said a month before.